Praise due for Chief Justice Roberts on saving Trump's butt. A lot of people hate Chief Justice Roberts. I dig him because I dig the law. I dig what he does. Welcome to the Doug TenNapel channel. I'm Doug TenNapel, creator of Earthworm Jim, The Neverhood, Nickelodeon's Cat Scratch, over 20 graphic novels, beloved children's animated series. But now I do the news. We call this place Exile. Welcome to Doug in Exile. First, this headline is what started my quest. The New York Times, how Justice Roberts shaped Trump's Supreme Court winning streak. Behind the scenes, the Chief Justice molded three momentous January 6th and election cases that helped determine the former president's fate. Now, here's an itemized plot by plot, point by point by Mike Davis over on Twitter. Okay, here we go. This is Mike Davis, the great one, over on Twitter, on X. Here it says, let's see here. Cheers to Chief Justice. Certainly no Trump fan. Remember that this is a never Trump judge. That's part of how you know that he's being fair. If he goes in Trump's direction, it's because he loves the law. It's not because he picked a political ally, which is what the left does. All the leftist judges do, from Juan Merchan all the way to Kagan. For his strong leadership, he clearly and correctly understands that Democrats' unprecedented lawfare and election interference against Trump and is gravely destructive to the presidency, thus to our republic. And that's what Justice Roberts is trying to affirm. If you're for that, what he's doing, which is to save the republic and save the rule of law, give us a thumbs up right now. Number two, shame on the four DC lower court justice, Tanya Chutkan, and she's actually separate from the other three. The other three is Florence Pan, who is a complete psycho, just a complete Democrat operative, Michelle Childs, and Karen Henderson for their rushed, mindless, partisan, highly destructive proceedings to get Trump, these three partisan Democrats, and an 80-year-old Republican. This is the one that I believe was the GHW Bush appointment, who should have retired years ago, should be ashamed of themselves. They won't be. They're too delusional and sanctimonious. Here's where the real election interference starts coming into play. Three, shame on the four Colorado Democrat Supreme Court justices, now Chief Justice Monica Marquez, William Hood, Richard Gabriel, and Melissa Hart, who are so partisan, delusional, and arrogant that they thought they had the power to remove a presidential candidate from the ballot. Remember that one? These are like the greatest hits of what Roberts has stopped. Yes, four partisan Democrat judges tried to disenfranchise over 550,000 Colorado Trump primary voters, and they still say Trump is the one who's a danger to democracy. This amateur hour opinion was so laughably stupid that it got reversed 9-0 by the Supreme Court. Yes, they somehow managed to lose even all three Democrats on the Supreme Court, Jackson, Kagan, and the other one, Sotomayor. Yeah, the farthest leftists, they lost off the court on that one. That's how, guys, if you're living in Colorado, which was the first state to start legalizing pot, and that's probably what caused all this, bunch of hippies. Cheers to then Colorado Chief Justice Brian Boatwright, Justice Carlos Seymour, and Justice Maria Birkenkotter, all Democrat appointees on the all-Democrat Colorado Supreme Court, for their voice of sanity in their dissent on this 4-3 ruling. So see, though they didn't get the dissent. Okay, hold on. I just got to say one more time. This is Mike Davis's Twitter account that I'm reading from, and I've started following him after the Fani Willis stuff. He did excellent reporting on that, but he's one of my favorite voices on Twitter, and I see him on TV a lot too. Number four, shame on the DC federal judges, district and circuit, who allowed the Biden-Harris Justice Department to contort, politicize, and weaponize a post-Enron corporate obstruction statute to go after political opponents. This is that Enron one that kept them from manipulating documents from, I believe it was around 2007, 2008, during the Enron scandal. And they pressed it into service for this. These shameful partisan hacks in robes, DC Republican and Democrat, got reversed in the Fisher ruling in June. They politically persecuted these J6 defendants. Now, remember, the J6 defendants were under the same charges as Trump. No question, because they were saying that they were manipulating, I think it was documents based on the election results. And they are continuing to do it by ignoring the letter and spirit of Fisher by stacking misdemeanors and upward departures. Truly shameful criminally, actually. So they're still working on those J6 people whom Trump will set free if he wins the election. He will pardon them 5. Shame on justices and/or Supreme Court staff who leaked highly confidential internal deliberations. Now, these are the ones that leaked, especially about the Roe v. Wade stuff, which I assume is Sotomayor. Too many of today's judges are truly destructive to the rule of law. So I really appreciate that clarity from Mike Davis. But this is how, the Roberts Court has done more to help Trump just by following the law. Remember, Roberts always wants unity. He's trying to get them all together. Look, if he was a conspirator and he wanted to get Trump, he could have completely destroyed Trump, leading this court against him. And he did not do it. He followed the rule of law, which ended up saving Trump's butt. And for that, I'm thankful for Justice Roberts. There's obviously, we all have huge criticisms of him on punting on Obamacare and all that, did terrible decisions. But in this case, he was really going to help Trump. And that means if Trump wins the election, it's because Justice Roberts helped Trump save the world. I'm Doug in Exile. Would love to hear what you guys think in the comments below.